Hi, how are you? My name is Indigo, and welcome back to my channel. That was a little threatening. But you know what? We're gonna roll with it because I asked you guys to tell me your makeup myths. We're gonna see what weird myths we get. There are some very weird ones out there that I would love to discuss today. And we're gonna talk about how realistic these myths are. So before we get started, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and let's get started.
Hey, ewa salame, baba klopapir, ewa salame, zimzalbim, ewa salame, hey, hey. Hey.
Also, how do we feel about the bang moment? I'm like really living for it right now. It makes my cheekbones like... I look like if Troye Sivan and Handsome Squidward had like a baby. Peak human performance. So like I said before, I did ask you guys what makeup myths you guys have heard on my Instagram. If you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, it's also Indigotohell. Make sure you go follow me on there. I am way more active on there than I am on here. I actually reply to things on there. I kind of suck at that here, but I'm good at it on Instagram. Ooh, okay, so the first one is already a really juicy one. Their first myth is you can use baby powder as baking or pressing powder. A little history lesson. Fun fact, actually really sad fact.
Fun fact, actually really sad fact.
So the whole idea of like powder on the face is not a new concept at all. However, the idea of setting makeup or using powder to kind of like mattify it, that is new. And that was actually made by drag queens. And what they used before setting powder or baking powder was a thing. It was baby powder. They used baby powder. Baby powder actually is pretty effective in this regard. It's not as effective as actual setting powder because we have made more advancements in, you know, technology and whatever. You should do your research before you apply baby powder on your face because there is talc in that, and there is also talc in some setting powders, so you have to be careful of that. And talc is very widely known to cause problems with your lungs, so that's why we steered away from baby powder. I wouldn't recommend it, but yes, you can actually do it, and yes, it actually does that job. Applying ice before makeup makes your makeup last longer. I don't think so. I'm assuming this is along the same lines of wash your face with cold water if you want smaller pores, because pores can close and open if you use hot water or cold water or whatever, And no, that does not happen because the pore itself cannot close. Your pores cannot close. If that was the case, that'd be really impressive. Where this myth came from is because when you are hot or your skin is very irritated from heat, you will start to sweat. Therefore, allegedly, your pore opens. And the more heat you use on the skin, the easier it is to take something out of your skin. So if you're getting any extractions or you're getting ready to get like a surgery or something, it's a really good way of softening the skin. But the pore itself is gonna remain intact. It's gonna remain the same size always. When you sweat, your pores don't open. You just have sweat glands on your skin and they just secrete the sweat. So people took that logic and they were like, oh my God, well, if hot means it's gonna open, well, cold means it's gonna close. No, that's not the way that it works. You can actually cause broken capillaries with cold and hot water. So honestly, just wash your face with lukewarm water. That is what your skin likes. I wouldn't really recommend this, and I don't think this has any legitimacy towards it because I don't see why makeup would be affected by the cold. Besides maybe getting a little drier, but mascara makes you go blind. Whew, I hope not. I think this is just kind of a mother's way to like deter children from sharing mascara or whatever. You know, like little girls who like don't really understand that like sharing your hairbrush is gross or like sharing a toothbrush is gross or something. It's the same thing with mascara. You really shouldn't be sharing that. And you should also be replacing them every 3 months because any bacteria that gets on there, you have to understand your eye is a very sensitive area. It's an open area of your face. It's kind of like a wound, right? And also, let's be real here. An eye infection would suck. You can get a sty, which hurts. I've never had it, but I've seen it and it's very painful looking. Or you can get like a really like inflamed type of like rash, or your eye can get inflamed and swollen and shut. In some cases, it probably could cause a bacterial infection that could lead to you getting blind, but the mascara itself wasn't the issue, but rather the person being undiligent when it came to cleaning their mascara and thus being dirty. That's very unlikely to happen because mascara has parabens in it, which I'm sure we're gonna see a little thing about parabens later, and I'll get back to that. I don't think mascara could make you go blind, but I think that's a great way that our parents kind of got us to understand, don't do these things because you will die or you will experience pain. If you wear bright lipstick too often, your natural lip color will fade. I've never heard that one. Well, I'm assuming maybe they probably meant that with like red lipstick or something, or like black lipstick, like something very pigmented that like you just like consistently put like pigment and pigment and pigment and pigment. I wish that was the case though, because that would lead for some really good little hacks. When you get lip fillers, you could just put a little bit of pink lipstick right here and it'll eventually just stain. I think that one's not real. Oh yes. Okay, so makeup makes you break out like foundation and stuff. Realistically, anything can make you break out no matter what, whether it be skincare, the air, literally pollution in the air can make you break out, diet can make you break out, makeup can break, anything can break you out. But unless you get broken out by the actual things that give this pigment, everything else in this formula you can definitely find a variation of to give you some type of coverage to some extent. But when you have acne, you just have to be really diligent about the ingredients and make sure that you understand your skin and make sure you buy a product that you actually can work with. It makes you look older, like more wrinkly and ugly, something like that. My grandma would say that. That is a very common thing with like the older generations. It's kind of funny. I think that stems from the fact that in Western makeup, we tend to be very powdery with our makeup. But the more wrinkles that you have, the more you want to be on the dewy side of makeup, so you can kind of like fill in like the gaps in between your skin and the pores and stuff. But that's also another thing where they kind of go wrong, because you don't necessarily just want to leave it like that. You also want to powder it. You just don't want to powder it as much. But yeah, I would say that is a myth. I think it's just because we have an idea of what makeup looks like to us and we stick to that one rule. But in reality, makeup can be literally anything you want it to be. That makeup is just for girls. This is just so funny to me because in the past, men used to wear makeup, men used to wear wigs. It was a sign of status, and then out of nowhere, suddenly it was gay to like use it. And like, why is it so common in our culture today for men to just not take care of their appearances? Like, dirty is not masculine. You know what is masculine? Being comfortable enough with yourself to be able to do whatever you want and be confident in that. All your faves wear makeup. We're talking about rappers, we're talking about models, we're talking about soccer players, we're talking about football players, we're talking about boxers. If they're in a promotional, if they're in a photo shoot, they are wearing a full face of makeup. Just because it doesn't look like they're wearing makeup doesn't mean that they aren't, because there is natural makeup kind of like the one that I'm wearing today. I am wearing a full face of makeup right now and it doesn't really look like it. Now just imagine a professional makeup artist doing that to a male model that's already attractive. You're not gonna clock it. You're not gonna clock it. Whatever, it's not my battle. It really is not. Frequent use of makeup damages skin. Now this one I definitely have heard. I remember when I used to have bad acne, everybody was like, you know, if you stopped wearing makeup, your skin would actually become better. And the funny part is my skin actually got better after I started using makeup because I was so diligent about removing it that I ended up just getting a really good skincare routine in the process. If you are using a formula that doesn't agree with your skin, is just causing a whole bunch of rashes and hives or breakouts, yes, it could be damaging to your skin. Stop using it. But let's say in the sense of the makeup that I have on right now, this is not damaging my skin at all right now. Whenever somebody tells me that my makeup is damaging, I ask them if they wear sunscreen, and 99% of the time they say no. And then I blink. Because why are they so worried about my skin, but they're not worried about theirs? You're jealous. You are like that.
Jumping around the corner looking for a food. Very jealous.
That water removes makeup. Ah, that gave me the chills. Absolutely not. Please use a cleansing oil or a makeup balm. At the very least, if you're gonna wash it off with water, I just beg of you to at least use a makeup wipe. God forbid though, you don't wanna do that to your skin. If you fall asleep with makeup on, you'll be old in the morning. You might as well be. Don't do that. Don't do that. Obviously, this is a myth. If you sleep in your makeup, that is very damaging because there's gonna be so much on your skin that could clog your pores at night. You need to give your skin a break because it's gonna start recognizing the makeup as a foreign body or a foreign object on your skin. It's gonna start breaking out. The nighttime is so important for your skin, collagen production, and repair. And if you have all of that stuff just preventing your skin from repairing itself, you are essentially aging yourself. That is true. That is very true. You cannot have clear skin if you wear makeup. Oh my gosh, the amount of times that I've heard this. You know what's funny? I feel like people that wear makeup actually have healthier skin. And it's not because they wear makeup, but it's more because they are so diligent on removing their makeup at night that they actually clean their face the way that they're supposed to. And then in the morning, we actually clean our face and prepare it in the way that we are supposed to make our makeup look good. And we tend to care more about our skin because our skin is our base. So if our skin is looking ugly, our makeup is gonna look ugly. And if you're a makeup fanatic, you don't like ugly makeup. So that is a big myth and I don't agree with it at all. Okay, so this is the last real one that I'm gonna read. And this is such a serious topic that really pisses me off. The more makeup you wear, the uglier you'll be without it. And you look like a if you wear too much makeup. This just bothers me to no extent because this is something that they only do to women. A woman can never thrive without somebody having to put them down. If they are natural, they need to wear makeup. They have to fix something. If a woman wears makeup, they're ugly without it. They have to remove it. They're wearing too much. They're cake face, they're fake, they're this and that plastic, blah, blah, blah. No matter what women do, they cannot catch a break from like society. It's ridiculous. It literally bothers me to no extent. That is not your body. You don't have to comment on it. If you don't like the way somebody looks, you don't have to even address it. You can look away and look at something that you do like. Somebody is out there being confident, being happy with their life. Why would you take the time out of your day to put them down? Because you're insecure and you feel bad and you want somebody else to feel the same way you do? Whew. Okay, let me just calm down after that one because that one really got me going there for a second. What other makeup myths have you heard? Let's start a discussion down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like my art, if you guys like my energy, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I will see you guys in the future. Bye.